Every person has a story, but not everyone has a place to tell it. I'm Frank Swoboda. As a filmmaker for over 35 years, I've interviewed amazing people all over the planet. I want you to meet them. This week, the most interesting person you've never heard of is...
I'm Gage Lee. I am the most interesting person you never heard of. I work as a breakfast server at downtown Frank's Diner, and I have worked there 35 years and still going strong.
Gage Lee, thank you for joining me on the Most Interesting Person You've Never Heard of podcast.
I appreciate you, Frank. Thank you for having me.
You said something while we were waiting, setting up here. You made an analogy to what this is like as you're sitting here ready to do this.
I did.
What did you say?
I said this reminds me of getting a colonoscopy.
Wow.
I'm sorry. It's just the way that they were very seriously chatting over their instruments. I remember laying there and going, my goodness. And how smooth they were being, and I thought, that's just like that. And then they tell you it's not going to be long, and it wasn't. Here we are.
And then you don't remember anything.
No, that's right. They said you won't remember a thing, and thankfully I don't remember a thing.
Well, that's the best analogy to waiting to get filmed I've ever heard.
Well,
so I
thank
might
you.
steal
I appreciate you.
That's pretty great. So tell me what you do, because I know you for years, but you are you are what I would call SPO famous.
Oh my goodness!
Is this fair?
I do when I go out into shopping parking lots. I'll have people yell, "Hey, Frankie!" to me, which is always like, "Oh wow, biscuits and gravy, come on down."
Right.
It's wonderful. I am a server at Frank's Diner. I'm the breakfast server. I've worked there for 35 years this June. And I am the luckiest person on earth because Spokane has the nicest people in the whole town, and they all come. Eventually everyone comes to Frank's Diner. It's a wonderful historical railroad car, and it's simple and it's fun, and they have great food.
And it's named after me.
Oh, that's true.
Which
that's true.
I think
I wasn't going to mention it because
cool.
I know you're super modest, but
just ask me.
Well, Frank, how do you enjoy your diner?
I love my diner. It's incredible.
That's great.
No, it's true. I mean, people must see you all the time. Do you get stopped every day by people?
I have been stopped in Pike's Place Market in Seattle. I have been stopped at Cannon Beach in Oregon. Yeah, they do recognize me. I'm not sure why. I've been stopped in Costco. Hey, Frankie. It's always Frankie.
It's Frankie. That's
Frankie.
Hilarious.
That is fun.
Because I even having you walk in here today, it's a little like seeing your teacher at the grocery store.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Well.
Like you only see you at Frank's Diner.
That's true. That's true.
It's a bit of a fish out of water.
I want to mention also, I was at several stops with police, like where they'll do the "Are you drinking?" stop, and they stop everybody, and they come to me and they'll say, "Oh, it's you. You can go." They have said that to me. Even my husband just laughs his head off. "Oh, it's you. It's you, Bob. You can go."
You're just allowed through. You're like a celebrity.
I don't know, but I love it. It's great, and I always surprised and say thank you.
My gosh, that is hilarious. So 35 years. I'm about celebrating 35 years of doing this business.
Yes.
And the work that I do. You've been doing your work for 35. Why keep going? What do you love the most about it?
Okay. I have a saying we have in our family. When we go to weddings, sometimes it's, why is she marrying him? Or why is he, what? And we have a saying in our family. It's an old saying that my family has passed down I've heard it forever, and it says, every pot has a lid. Every pot has a lid, and when I walked into Frank's, I knew I wanted to work there.
Really?
I knew it. Yeah, I did.
So do you remember the first day? Do you remember?
I remember everything about it. I'll give you a little background. I was born in Grants Pass, Oregon. Didn't live there very long. Both my parents are working class. My father poured concrete. He poured the concrete for the Space Needle.
Wow.
Yeah, we lived in Seattle when Seattle was great, when you could get anywhere you wanted to in 10 minutes before the Amazon buildings came, when things were cheaper.
60s, 70s.
Oh, yes. It was
After
fabulous.
the World's Fair, right?
He poured the concrete for the World's Fair. Mother worked at King Oscar's. Everywhere where Father worked in construction, Mother got a serving job because it's the kind of job you can pick up and stop. We had a lot of kids in our family, so they both worked, and it worked out well for us.
What brought you to Spokane?
Well, I'll tell you real fast. When I turned about, basically we were out in the country. We lived way out by Everett before even I-5 was built. Father actually helped with that. Anyway, there was no one around, and a bookmobile would come down a dirt road. And in my family, you were either athletic or you were nothing. My father was an ex-boxer. My sister was a third state class gymnast. She was very strong. They actually picked her to be a woman firefighter. She was so strong, but she said no. Anyway, thankfully, she became a cosmetician. Anyway, I was the reader. I buried myself in books. And when I was about 19, Mother read. I said, Mom, I'm going to travel. How can I earn money? And she said, you can earn money doing what I'm doing, serving, if you don't want to go to school. And I said, no, I want to see the world. I want to go everywhere. I want to see everything. I was just had a very young to go. And Mother began teaching me how to serve, which, believe it or not, every job has something to it. And she started showing me. And I got a job at the Roosevelt Hotel in Seattle. Mm-hmm. And that was a wonderful place. The Austin brothers, Gwen and Val, owned it. It was all family. It was one of the truly traditional, old, wonderful places that isn't there anymore. Canadians bought it out and turned it into a black bar plastic building. But anyway, I digress. I met my husband there, and we married. And what brought us to Spokane, where I'm finally going with this, is the Microsoft had taken off so quickly and so hard. People were flooding into Seattle. It was the it place, very, very expensive very quickly.
80s.
And yeah, it was. And my husband and I had my daughter at the time. And my daughter, my whole dream was to take her on her first day of school and walk her up to our neighborhood school. Well, they sent us a letter saying that she would be bused across town about 2 hours to a magnet school. And I was talking to my mother about it, and she says, are you going to do that with little Lizzie? And I said, if there's any beating of my heart in my body, no. And I told my husband, we have to get out of here. We do. We have to get out of here. It's too expensive, and I have no rights about where can't take her to the neighborhood school. It's turning into something I don't recognize anymore. It worked for my folks. It doesn't work for us. Where can we go? And my husband looked around and he said, they say Spokane is nice. They don't have a lot of that politics, and they have reasonable cost of living up there, which you can imagine in the 90s was very reasonable.
Yeah.
So we took our little shekels that they laughed at there. We had strained and saved $10,000, in which they wanted $20,000 for a home there down. And we came up here and were able to buy a place.
Wow.
That was really great. However, this is where I'm going into Frank's. Unfortunately for me, my husband did not care for Spokane once he moved there. He was from the South. He was from Raleigh, North Carolina, and he did not like Spokane. I don't know what it was, the cold, the snow. We had real winters back then. I remember Ice Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody remembers Ice Storm.
Yes.
Well, anyway, he really made a case he was going to want to go back to his hometown, and I said, I don't know why. I'm not a very brave person. I just said no. I said, no, I like it here, and we have a place, and I want to live here. I love you very much and everything, but I made a mistake. I've done what a lot of women did. I married my father, very controlling guy, telling me what to do all the time. And about the time my daughter was about 7, he turned around one day and spoke to her in that manner, that controlling manner. Something just went. And I said, I'm leaving. And I did. And so I took my girl and
Brave.
I don't know. There's a point.
No,
You
it
either
is
stand
brave.
up for yourself or you don't.
That's right.
And so I wanted to save her from that and give her a normal thing. And so I found a place and I began to realize I need a job immediately, immediately,
Yeah.
if not sooner. And so I began looking around, and I must have been 29 at that point. Yeah, I mean 29. Anyway, there were these little terrible jobs. Like one was a convenience store place, wanted someone. One was it was the Wonder Golf Land with the golfers, down here.
Oh, yeah, Wonderland. Yeah,
Wonderland.
Yeah.
They actually told me I was too old. I was so horrified. I said, "Oh no, oh no, oh no!" And I saw an ad in the paper. They did. They weren't even messing around about it. You're too old to work here. I said, okay. So I kept going, and I saw an ad in the paper. They had newspapers back then.
Pretty sure you can't say that anymore.
I guess not. They didn't mind saying it. I simply said, I shall go off into the night. Don't worry, I won't bother you again. So I got a newspaper, and there it was, Frank. There it was. Railroad car, needs servers. And I thought, oh, thank you. This is probably it. So I went to what is now some other restaurant, but at the time was the Top Notch Cafe by the courthouse.
Mm-hmm. Top Notch. I remember the Top Notch. Absolutely love the Top Notch.
Oh, yes. And there was a wonderful guy in there that was trying to cook. And he was cooking away. And he was the kitchen manager, which in a lot of places runs a store. They'll do everything else. He runs the money and everything because he knows how much everything's costing. So I knew instantly he was in charge. And I walked in and I had my little stuff and he just started talking to me. He was so pleasant. No one else much talked to me. And he said, where did you work? And I said, the Roosevelt Hotel in Seattle. Mr. Val Gwynn will give you references. I always show up and I work hard and I'm honest. And he said, okay, well, what can you tell me about the Roosevelt? And I said that Val and Gwen Austin, the Austin brothers, ran it. They gave us a turkey every Christmas. They shook our hands, wished us Merry Christmas. It was a wonderful place. It felt like home. He said, that's right, that is the way they were. Oh, I said, you know them? He goes, I know all about the Roosevelt. And I said, oh, well. And I talked to him for quite a while. And then I began to see back then, Frank, we had wheels. We didn't have computers like now. So the wheel began to just get wrapped with tickets, double wrapped. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you're working. I have been blabbing and I don't know, you're the first person who's really spoke to me. He had also done construction work and had done work in Seattle. Perhaps it was through that because after he left Frank's, he built part of River Park Square. And he actually, very interesting guy, Stuart Lee, if you ever want to meet an interesting guy, he then became a professional auctioneer and just went all around Spokane selling all kinds of stuff. And I see him every once in a while. Looks exactly the same. Well, to get back to it, I said, I'm so sorry. You're working so hard and I'm blabbing. I apologize. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for talking to me. It makes me feel so good. I appreciate it. It makes me feel seen. And I turned around and started walking away. And he called out and said, where are you going? I said, you're swamped. I'm leaving. And he said, I like you. You're hired. Oh my goodness.
So he was hiring for Frank's.
Yes. The sky's open. He was going to be the manager of Frank's. He was only at the Top Notch helping our owner out. He had lost a cook. He was the first manager at Frank's Diner. Stuart Lee, thank you.
No relation?
You're still around? No,
Gage
no,
Lee, Stuart
no,
Lee?
no. His wife is lovely. No, she told him to quit the restaurant. He lost so much weight. He's the kind that can't delegate. He would do everything, and so he just burnt out, which is the good ones do. But anyway, there I was hired on. So Pat Jesperson was the first owner. If you go around, there you go. If you go around town and you see something unusual, He owns part of Knight's. He owns some of the milk bottle. He owns
Does he?
Hogan's.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
go around,
Pat owns Chick, I'm
if you
sure.
go around and you see Arnie's in the
Uh-huh.
district over there, if you go around, you see something vintage. It's always Frank. Whether it's or excuse
Pat.
me, Pat.
Pat Jefferson, yeah.
I'm looking at you. It's always Frank. Yeah, and so he is one that
Because he has a
is a
restaurant supply
perfectionist.
like store.
Yeah,
or
but he
whatever.
likes the historic things. In
Yeah,
fact, he's
he
such a
does.
good guy. He does
Yes.
a charity for a Polish orphanage. He's really involved.
right?
He is a wonderful guy. He always wears a blue sweater. Every Christmas, we gave him another blue sweater. Anyway, he wanted it to be perfect. So by the time I got on, and I was very fortunate, that was the second ad that they were on. Back then, a lot of people were hiring Sherry's, other places. The crew had tired of waiting for him to open. They needed to work. So they all left. He ran another ad, and that's when I was lucky enough to come on.
So you were hired before it opened.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
So he was telling me that when the car got brought over, they dug this big pit, and the car was had to be put on end. It was fragile, and it had to go all the way from Seattle, where the owner there had lost it because of taxes. Everything went woo-woo.
The whole
there.
train car
The
moved
train
from Seattle.
car. Yeah, and it went down Highway 2. Because the overpasses, it was too tall. So it took 3 days. It was very
couldn't get down I-90.
nerve-wracking.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was telling me that when the largest crane in the world appeared to put it onto the pit, people in the crowd, there was a crowd because back then there was no Facebook or anything, and some people would go out and look at stuff. A lot of older men were just standing around saying it's going to break in half when they put it on the deal.
Well, and they grew up with trains. Those
Oh
guys,
yes, they
right?
love trains.
Yeah.
A lot of older fellas do, and you could hear the crowd betting that it was going to break in half. And Pat said it went on and just went on as good as gold, and so that one just poofed like that. And we had the biggest opening ever, and prices
meant to
were
be.
cheaper back then. And I was a breakfast place in the most hopping place in town, and I was so thrilled, and I'm still very thrilled.
Wow, what a great story. I had no idea you were there. I had a thought that you might be there as long as Frank's has been there. But you really are Frank's. Like you're people why do they call you Frankie? You're an institution every bit as much as that place is.
Well,
the personification of Frank's Diner.
I have been very fortunate. That was a lid that fit my pot. It answered my whole problem. I then, to cherry on the cake, met my husband now there.
Really?
He was the one that put in the computer, and I shouldn't say this, but he was. His wife fell in love with her boss and left. And he was in a very, he was down and I was a little bit down. But we were working and getting together a little bit, talking. And he says, "You're a nice lady." I said, "So are you. You're a nice fella." And he goes, "Let's go out." I said, "No, I never wanted to get married again. I never wanted to do any of that ever again."
Right.
I just decided that was it. I tried, but it didn't work. And he was very stubborn, and he said, "I can beat you in chess." And I said, "No, you can't." And he goes, "Yes, I can. We're going to meet over here, we're going to have coffee, and I'm going to play chess." And that's how we started going out. And I found better than a smart guy, because I thought my first husband was extremely smart. I found a very nice guy. Oh, so much better. So much better.
You highly recommend
He's
that.
the kind of guy, he can fix anything. He's the kind of guy that would stop if you are stranded and help you out. I've seen it do it a million times. He's nice to everybody, and I really lucked out. We've been married
so
quite
did
a long
he,
time.
right?
Oh, I guess.
Who won at chess?
I have won at it, but when I did, I believe
Do you remember that first game?
I do. He said something. He said, "You play like a girl." He just mentioned that, and I said, "What?" And he goes, "I'm attacking you, and you're running away." And I said, "Oh, well, I'll play better or something." But yeah, we have certain styles of playing, and his is all in, like a man would play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there was a few times I won, but I feel that he let me win for some reason. But anyway, there it was.
Well, so I've just, gone in there forever and always seen you and always just thought you were so delightful. That's the word I always think of.
Oh my, I am glad. And I'll tell you why. The reason why I brought up all the stuff about going to travel is I want to tell you why I think I don't want to know if I say the word special. It's special to me. You can serve in a million different ways. You really can. You can do it very efficiently, and you can do it very coldly, and you can do it very properly, and you can do it in a million ways. You can do it very
You can
rudely.
be invisible, or you can take over the room.
Exactly. But how I serve, and this is where it goes back to the traveling that I did. I had a big wake-up call. Remember when I was 19 and wanted to see the world, and I thought everything was castles, and I would read Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and Little Prince, and I thought everything was just like that. And I watched
somewhere else.
The Mummy. Oh, exactly, on TV with Boris Karloff, and I wanted to see the pyramids, which we did do. Well, we were very poor. Mother went with me. She thought I needed to have her there, and I was very glad. Actually, she was there a couple of times in some of those places we went to. We were very cheap and poor and didn't have a lot, but we had enough to get over there. We had enough to buy a Eurail pass and do a second-class train if you slept on the trains.
Great.
And we went from Greece on a plane into Cairo.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you, that was somewhat traumatizing in a way. I had not seen that kind of a thing. The machine guns on the street, and the culture, and the way they treated women, and the way that they would get out and do the bonging and fall down, and it was a very absolutely foreign to
culture
me.
Shock.
Oh wow. And we saw Cairo creeps onto the pyramids now, so they're very small compared to the building. They finally wised up about that because they pushed everything back a little, because it's not, they depend on tourism. But I can remember being so poor, we bought a sandwich, and I looked down and I saw a 9-year-old boy just working his heart out with a pick on something that another hotel, they depend on tourism. And he looked up at me and I looked at him, and that was going to be his life. Unless something intervened, that was going to be his life. And I thought, holy smoke, I don't like this. I don't like they don't have any choices.
Not everything you see is rosy.
Oh, no. It was terrible. So where this is tying in is places that we went to there, even the very poorest places like that, people were people. They were nice to us a lot of times. I can remember one of the fellows, "You are my sister and my mother, and I'll show you around." And he was a little ragged guy with no teeth, and we went around with him, and he treated us very nice. And when you have an occasion to go to a place where you're alone and you don't know anything, and someone is nice to you, really nice to you, helpful, kind, shows you something, you remember that. I did.
Forever.
And I said, when I come back, if I'm still serving, I'm going to remember how it was to come into a place and not know anybody or anything, and I'm going to treat people like they're special. That was exactly what I said to myself, because that's how some of them treated me, and boy, it sticks with you.
Do you do that still every day? Do you think that?
I do. I think that today, someone's going to feel extra special. Everybody that I talk to, if they need to be left alone and you can see that they're having something serious going on, I've come up and said, "Good morning, how is everybody today?" And they've said, "We just came from a funeral." And I'll say, "Well, food is going to make you feel better." I just try to make a positive spin.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to notice, that it's almost like you're watching you work. It's like performance art.
Well,
I don't know if you quite understand that, but you're going to deal with every kind of personality, and it must be, I don't know if it's a game, but you're constantly challenged by the person that sits down with you.
You have to
for you to make them, to find out what it is about them that makes them comfortable.
You have to do that, because let me tell you, after 35 years of asking somebody how they want their eggs, it can be a little repetitive. So to keep in your game and keep sharp and not do a substandard, what do you want? Whatever.
Mail it in.
Mail it in. Exactly. you remember and connect experiences so that you can relate to that person. Is he worried? Is he fidgety? Did he drop something? Is something the matter? Can I grab you some coffee? How's your morning? Things have changed, however, and I can tell you in the last 25 years or so, in the last 15 years, there's been a dramatic change. How I used to get regulars, like I had regulars that came in for 15, 20 years, they're retired now, a lot of them. Judge Koza, the mayor, and the police chief, I waited on them every Thursday. I guess where I'm going here is that when I started serving at Frank's, people had newspapers, they had, their coffee there, they were relatively in good moods. And now it's the phone. It's such a wall. If I see them doing something, or they immediately bring it out.
It's a defense. It's a shield.
If they were taking pictures, I run up and talk to them about, do you know that is a 1906 window, the stained glass. I'll talk to them, but if they start really looking at their phone and they just sat down, I say good morning and I take their order and ask them if they want anything, and I look for a chance to connect with them. But I have that barrier, and I have yet to feel that I can overcome that if they're actually doing something on it, and I've let it go, and I think, what can I do? But it's simply the way of the world right now.
The screen is dominating.
It's dominating. It's dominating with the children.
You're right about that.
It's not easy to get around.
And we're not as connected.
Oh, gosh, no.
Right?
Oh, people are so upset nowadays, Frank. They are so upset.
You see it every day.
I see it every day. It's why I try to calm them down. And I want Frank's to be a simple place where they know they can come in, be recognized for who they are, and be served politely and eagerly and, friendly. The specialness, the experience, the kind of thing I got a few times that I definitely remember.
Yeah.
It's connected deep in me.
It is
I
a
was
special
scared.
place.
I was scared a few times overseas.
Yeah.
Yes, and I go to national parks now. I like that much better.
A little safer.
I like outdoors, and I don't want to see children hurt or anything like that.
So one of the other things I've noticed is that like a comedian or somebody on stage, you've got to deal with hecklers.
Oh, yes.
And you've got material. Like, you're ready for... Are you ready for any...
The worst...
You know what I mean?
Worst,
like,
worst
whatever somebody gives you're ready with something coming back.
The worst one was a big man grabbed my arm going up the aisle. This is probably 10 years ago, but I remember it because they don't usually grab onto you. Mm-mm. He was furious. He grabbed onto my arm going up the aisle, and he said, "My wife and I have been overlooked in her. We're hungry. They sent everybody else but us. How come we're not sent?" And I couldn't go anywhere. I just listened to the whole thing, got the whole thing, and I looked up at him and I said, "Do I look like your wife? Why are you yelling at me?" And he stopped. He was so taken aback. He said, "Am I yelling at you? Was I yelling?" I said, "Yes. I will fix this. You go sit down. I'll bring you some coffee. I know you're hungry. I'm so sorry you're overlooked. I'm a server, but I'll find out what's wrong and fix it, and you'll get sat, please." That one I remembered. That was unusual that he held on to me like that. But other than that, I don't have too much trouble with the customers.
You also come armed with jokes.
Oh, I try.
I mean, so give me some rapid fire, your favorites.
Okay.
Ready? Come on.
Here we go.
Are you going to stand up? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh.
If you stand up.
Okay, well, it's a little bit of an action joke, okay? So, okay, so there's a school teacher. There's a brand new kindergarten class, brand new, never been to school. And the kindergarten teacher says, "Hello, class. Look at your shiny, beautiful faces. My name is Mrs. Brown. And the first thing I do with all my kindergarten classes is I teach you something very important. I teach you the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, kids, I want you to stand up, look over at the flag, put your hand over your heart, and repeat after me. I know you're smart kids, and you're going to get this. So within an hour...
In here.
Okay.
And answer it. Okay.
Okay. Well, within an hour, they are smart kids and they get it. And she goes, now I'm going to call Principal Brown in and he's going to listen to you recite. In comes Principal Brown. Hello, kids. Look at your bright, shiny faces. Welcome. I hear you've got something for me to listen to. Well, all the kids stand up. They all look at the flag. They all put their hand over their heart. They all start reciting. All except for little Johnny. Nope. He's looking at the flag. He's standing up. He's reciting, but he's got his hand right here. And Principal Brown is looking, and the teacher's looking, and she goes, I don't know. I'll find out. So later she goes, Johnny, honey, you did so good. You were reciting. Everything was great. You were looking at the flag, but honey, you did not put your hand over your heart. Oh, yes, I did, Mrs. Brown. No, honey, you didn't. When my grandma comes over, she picks me up and says, bless your little heart. Okay, yeah, okay. They seem to like that one. That was told to me by Claire.
Short.
No, sometimes they're stories, yeah, sometimes. Every once in a while. Oh, you want to hear another one?
Yes.
Okay. So, let's see. Did you hear about the group of cows, fellas, that got up a card game? No. Oh yeah. These cows got a card game going on, but that wasn't all. Oh, gentlemen, I'm sorry to say it, but they were all smoking pot. Oh no, card playing, pot smoking cows. I don't know, pretty high stakes game, fellas. Okay, that was for Mike at the counter. He works at Grocery Outlet. Do you want any more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's see.
You just tell me. Tell me the joke.
I think I told you this one when you were in.
Maybe.
That was my new one. What do you get when you eat marijuana brownies? How about a pot belly? Oh, goodness. I think this is going downhill.
How do people react to these? Usually laugh?
They do.
Do they groan more than they laugh?
They do. A lot of folks wait a minute and then they burst into laughter, and that's
They don't
fun.
quite get it right away.
Yeah, no, they have to think about it a minute, and then they really like it. I have a Christmas one I always tell, but I have my props with me on that one.
Well, we can use our imagination. What props?
It's a salt and pepper shaker.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. I have to think about it a second. It's not Christmas time. I go around, like if you were there and you were there and you were there, and I bang the salt and pepper by your heads. I said, you want a joke, folks? And I bang it by them, and they're looking, and I said, season's greetings. Very good. All right. Well, anyway, they're corny, but they're fun. People aren't expecting that,
and they work.
So, well, they tell me. I have some people that come in for years, and they tell me they remember the salt and pepper joke, or they'll remember that again, like I remember. I'm just passing on something I personally learned and experienced.
Do you remember where you learned these jokes, or did you did somebody pass them on
customers
you?
will tell me. They'll say, here's one for you. Oh, yes, always. It makes it fun. And, I mean, you can get eggs anywhere. You can go to Cracker Barrel or wherever. And sometimes they'll have fun with you. And sometimes they ignore you. And if you're an older person, a lot of times you get ignored. And I, especially with my older people, I speak fluent senior, and I go right over there and I try to make them feel as welcome and waited on as possible, because they truly do get ignored.
It really,
It's something.
What you bring is presence.
Oh, well,
right?
Thank you.
You know what I mean? You bring the attention.
Oh, yes.
Presence.
Yes.
I mean, you
I want it to be fun for them.
Yeah.
Not just because, like I said, it makes it fun for me. If I had to just say all day long, "How do you want your eggs?" it wouldn't be very fun.
You wouldn't be. You probably still wouldn't be working there.
It would be awful, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. It would.
And I'm afraid some people, maybe that's what they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you can liven it up, make it fun, make it a happy experience, people are just grateful and they're so happy about that. And why not? A lot of times people, I can remember one of my customers on Valentine's Day brought in an entire violinist, a little group, and he sang a cappella to the whole restaurant a love song he wrote for his wife. It was so cool. Frank says a lot of people like that. They have people like you that are doing. It's a cool place to meet a lot of different people that are helping the community, putting out their energy, putting out their good ideas and their positiveness. Because let me tell you, cost of living increases. People are under strain right now. They're not having a good time.
Well, and just that neighborhood, you've seen the unhoused situation, right?
Yeah, it's
encroaching.
It's
the worst you've seen it.
It is, and it's a lot of young people. You know, it's young people. It's so sad. I mean, they're lost, and you want to do something. We have one of the Crisis in Christ folks that came in, and he gave me a bunch of cards, and he says, Gage, do they come in and ask for money? And I said, yeah. And he says, don't give them money. Some of them are under the influence of drugs, and that's what immediately they're going to spend it on, and it doesn't help them. Give them my card. I will help them. I will counsel them. We'll get them clothes. We'll give them a place to stay the night and food, and get them on their feet if we can. But you have to break the cycle. They're getting money from people. People are either ignoring them, hoping they go away, or they want them to go away and hand them some money real fast, and then they go right back and do whatever they're doing because they're not getting any real help.
It's just madness.
It is, and unfortunately, there is. It was COVID, Frank. That was a big drawing line with restaurants. It caused a lot of them to fail.
Yeah.
So at that period after COVID, or during COVID, when no one could open a business, the governor shut us down for darn near a year.
Yeah.
And which was frustrating because about 12 miles up the road, Idaho was wide open, no masks. I mean, you had such different. It could have been kind of something in the middle, but no, it was either you were open, you were
one extreme or
closed.
the other. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the downtown got taken over. I mean, no one was there to tell them no or anything, and now they're there, and all it is a bunch of legal arguments.
Yeah.
I feel badly for them because drugs is just
it's gotten
waste of your spirit, waste of your body.
Any famous people you've served?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Who do you got?
Kevin Costner.
What?
Yes, when he was filming Waterworld, that disaster of a film in Idaho, Medellin Falls. Yes, him and his group come in, and he was shorter than I thought he was. Sorry, Kevin, but
Kevin.
and he had this. He didn't want it. He didn't want any attention. He had this black cowboy hat slouched down over him in a jean jacket. He came in. They it's true. They would have bothered him. Poor George Moffat, the weatherman, would come in and do his backdrop there, and they would just inundate him. He couldn't have a moment's peace. You can imagine Kevin Costner.
George loved it though.
He did love it, but sometimes when you don't want it, it's kind of hard.
For sure.
But I saw him in a grocery store at Rosar's, and he was really getting bothered, and I could tell he just wanted to go pick up something. But about Kevin Costner, his group came in, they all sat at the counter, they ordered, he slouched down and went out. And that was our big guy. After that, we had the night kids were so excited. The Kardashians called. They were in Idaho and they wanted food, and they were waiting for them to come and get it, and it was their driver. So of course it walked in and paid for everything. And we're all sitting there.
The Kardashians ordered Frank Steiner.
They did.
How cool is that?
It's very cool. So yes,
I know you must be a big fan of.
I've never seen that show. I don't do reality shows.
I was going to ask you who your favorite Kardashian was, but you couldn't tell me.
Don't they all look alike? I don't not know. Don't they all have the same surgeon?
All their names start with K, or so you can't go wrong. I mean,
I think my granddaughter could tell you about him, but I don't know. I think Lucy washes them. But I can tell you the very busiest day we ever had at Frank's, I can tell it to you exactly. I've been there since we opened. The very busiest day we had at Frank's was on a Tuesday. And it was about 23 years ago. You're probably knowing where I'm going here. There was we're the place to go to get airport food real fast. We're the old way to the airport. I still think it's quicker than the freeway.
Yeah,
but anyway,
right. Sunset Hill. Yep.
yeah. So a car pulled in right before we opened, and I knew he was going to the airport. He was very nicely dressed, looked like he had luggage. I mean, you look out and you can see it. And nobody else was around, and he came in, and he had a weird look on his face. He looked really confused, and I said, "Hey, good morning. You want some breakfast?" And he said, "I did." And I said, "Don't you want breakfast now?" And he said, "Something's going on." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Over my radio, a plane hit a building in New York." Oh. I said, "What? What? I think it's the World Trade Center." I said, "Again?" And he said, "Yeah, I think I need to go. I have to get out today. I'm leaving. I'm going to go to the airport right now." And I said, so I ran to the phone. Back then there were no, it was canned music, and there was no news and no cell phones. So I called my daughter and woke her up. She is in junior high, and she was getting ready for school but hadn't gotten up yet. And I said, "Turn on the TV." And she goes, "What?" I said, "Turn it on. Something's going on." And she turned it on. She goes, "Mom, we're under attack." I said, "What?" And I looked around, and the entire parking lot was getting full. I mean, full of cars. Every plane in the United States had to land, wherever it was.
They were, yes.
Oh, my gosh.
And you're the closest place from the airport.
They said, "Go, there's a little diner down the street."
Right.
Me and the cook just looked at each other. I started grabbing all the coffee. Our dishwasher came in. He had just been hired from Yakima. And he said, "I'm leaving." And I said, No. Don't leave, please." And he said, No, we're under attack. And my husband, "I'm leaving. I'm going home." And he left. And all these people spilled in. And they were serving coffee to each other, Frank.
Oh, man.
It was so incredibly busy. Well, one by one, our manager came in and other people came in, and it got better. But I told the kids, these people are scared. Something's happened. They want to go wherever they're going, and they can't. Give them as much good service as you can. Let them stay here as long as you want to. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
And so it was days on some of them they didn't get out, and then we had that. But I can tell you that was the biggest thing that I can remember that happened there while I was there.
9/11.
That 911. And then we also had a very nice... it shows you how nice our customers are, because Michael Anderson's the astronaut that was Columbia accident.
The explosion.
Disintegrated. Anyway, his entire family, and there was at least 15 or 16 of them. We managed to get them around that table and back. We had a separate one we brought in. I'm not kidding you. Every single person, they came in after the funeral, grabbed my arm, not to hold me, but just grabbed me for a second and said, "Can we buy their breakfast?" They were so saddened what happened to him. He was a hero, and he was from Spokane. And they didn't let them do that, but they gave us a big formal portrait of him that I put up on the wall, and I said, "This will be here forever. When you want to come and see your dad, he'll be right here at Frank Steiner for you." And God bless him, but
wow.
I just, special things happen, and you can try to do your best to make them feel a little better when something awful happens. And that's what I think is so important. People need attention paid to them at times. What happened to me, Stuart Lee was so kind to me. I got hired. It was a hand reaching down and pulling me up.
Right.
I met my husband there.
Right.
All the good things that happened there.
It is an institution, that place, too, though. Like, a lot of things happen there.
A lot of things do happen there.
It's kind of the central, there's something about a diner, too, right?
It is true.
It's different.
It is true. Again, I want to emphasize that it's a family place. The people that have owned it a long time. They've brought in some newer folks because they eventually wish to retire.
Right.
But
who owns
they
it?
Treat everyone well. Well, originally Pat Jesperson. sold it to John Rowland, an interesting fellow. He was a guy that worked in television that had never worked in a restaurant. I thought it was Citizen Kane because he says, I think it would be fun to run a restaurant. I said, well, it's exciting and everything. I don't know about fun. Because we'll see. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
So he had worked in television. His mother was a wealthy woman in Virginia and bought the car outright for him.
Wow.
And he became our owner. And about the third month where he was washing dishes because the dishwasher didn't show up, he looked over at me and said, Miss Lee? And I said, yes, because that's how he spoke. He was Southern, and he said, I've never worked in a place where people didn't show up for work.
Yeah.
I said, oh, welcome to the hospitality industry. and anyway, he did he shut us down at nights, with helped a lot. He closed us at nights for 2 years where it was one crew opening, so he got his stable people and ran it for 2 years. And then he went back to Virginia, decided it wasn't fun anymore, and he sold it to, and we were bated breath because who's going to buy us now? You know what's happening. Larry Brown, who owns the Downtown Onion, owns the North Onion.
Yes, that's right.
Premier restaurateur.
Yes,
knows
what
the
he's
business
doing.
inside out.
Absolutely.
Stable as a rock.
I met Larry. I had dinner with him once. He's an amazing
and
guy.
now he's retiring.
Yes.
So he has his managing partner, Kim Blyle, and his wife, Christy, have really run it for the last maybe 12 years. Larry's really kind of trying to edge out of it. He keeps saying, I'm trying to get out. I said, keep going, try harder. You can do it. But they are now getting old enough that they want to bring in people from some of the other restaurants are buying it a little bit to bring in new people. It is very cool.
That's great.
So you have this continuous, very, very nice line and very good stability and very good experience.
How long are you going to keep doing this?
Well, I'm having fun.
Didn't you retire or something?
No. I was out for COVID, where some of the people weren't. My doctor said to me, you're the age that it's going to hit.
Yep.
Aren't they just doing to-go orders? Let the young kids do the to-go orders. They'll sail through it like nothing.
Yep.
It's you that'll
good advice.
And I want you, and I'll sign a deal saying that you can't. You're suspended off of working right now until you can get a vaccine. Well, as soon as I was vaccinated twice, I was able to go back.
Okay.
So I was off for about, and I didn't like it. Of course, I really did stay home. They told us to.
But did that drive you crazy?
Oh yes.
You missed it.
Oh yes.
What do you miss the most? What did you miss the most?
Oh, I missed our customers and our people. And the joy of when something you're working on clicks.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't it feel good?
No, it does. It doesn't feel. It's not like work.
Mm-mm.
No,
it's like I succeeded in my goal, but it wasn't just.
You're using your instrument for what you're supposed to.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
That's
your mind
experience.
is engaged, your body's engaged. That's what I like about serving. It isn't just your mind. Your body is moving all the time, so you're sort of getting a little exercise class. It's very nice. Well, and it improves your balance.
The other thing I noticed when watching you work is how you remember orders is remarkable to me. Do you have a shorthand?
I do.
That you have specifically.
I do.
We were watching you.
All servers learned the old shorthand years ago, and it plays. I'm the only one now. They're old enough to know it, and it plays havoc when the computer goes out. Every once in a while, the computer goes out, which also changed the restaurant. Remember the language? Eggs on the grill, the live cow when it was medium rare, the squishy. There were nicknames. We were always saying them. Oh, there's no wheel anymore. So what they're doing, they want to talk to you as little as possible. All they want to do is for that thing to come down on a strip of paper and they cook and do their stuff. They only want to talk to you if there's a problem. And so then they're just keeping going all the time.
Yeah.
And we're not to really speak with them all that much. I mean, unless there is really a problem. I mean, before there was the banter
and it was fun.
And this and that. And
yeah.
we did all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
We had fun. But that is another thing that has changed. The computer changed it. And I remember the rotten system Brian, our 14th manager, brought in. It was rotten. It was absolutely rotten. It was called, what was it called? Terrible thing. Anyway, I said, Brian, this doesn't even make sense. Why did you get this computer program? He goes, oh, it was the cheapest one out there. I said, yeah, but we have to work with it. Why did you get
What's
it at
that
all?
cost? What's the cost overall?
What was working great with the wheel? And he goes, do you know when I have to go around and count for Larry all the inventory every day and send him the numbers? Do you know how long that takes me? And I said, yes, I've seen you do it. He goes, guess what? I just hit a button now. He bought it for him.
He didn't buy it for you guys.
Yeah, really.
Didn't make
no.
the business very good.
Yeah, so I changed things again, and now everything is absolutely computerized. Everybody has their screens, and it's changed the business.
And it's just kind of less fun.
Less fun. It's quiet. They can ignore you if they want to. Before, I would really chat them up, just, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? You'd find out all kinds of things. I got tickets to the championship skating rink. Oh, my husband and I wanted to go, and then we looked and we went, wow, not this month. We were fixing something. And I waited on one of the skaters and his dad, and I just said, I bet it's so much fun. You go and enjoy Spokane. We can't see you this time, but we'll come next time. And they left me 2 tickets at the box office for the nice lady at Frank's Diner. And we got to see all of them. But that's what I mean. People are so nice.
Yeah, they are.
All you have to do is be nice.
Yeah, it's a mirror.
Yeah, it is. It's.
If you give it, you get it.
You get it. If you give them nothing, you get nothing.
Very
simple.
And you see a lot of people that do that. You also, since we've been working in our businesses about the same time, right? You work with a lot of younger people. My whole team's, much younger than me. I kind of like that.
Yes.
Does it help you?
It helps me because they have different points of view on things, and anything that enlarges your mind to another way is certainly learning. You're learning something.
I learn a lot.
Even if you don't agree with it. I agree with a lot of what they say. They're very optimistic, more so than I am as an older person. But they also, a little bit, they can be, I would say to people, good morning, folks, and they'll say, hi, you guys. And that's a little fresh to me. I don't like it when they say that. They have tattoos, which is jarring to me. Right. And there's a little bit of things, but if you can look past that, they're the sweetest kids.
Well, I do have one beef with you. I noticed when we went in there, that Cameron, our youngest, you said, young fella.
Yes, sir.
You call him young fella, and then you called me dear.
Yes.
Is that just because I'm old?
No. No.
You have some language for people.
I do.
You got some of them? Give me your...
well,
what do you call people?
Waitress, well, like I just said just a minute ago, not in reference exactly to this, but I'm a little more formal than, hey, guys. Or I can't stand it when a server will call a woman a guy. She'll say, oh, now, guy, it's your turn, or whatever. And I just...
It's not right.
No.
Right. That's not how they did it, the Roosevelt.
No, madam, what will you have today? What can I get started for you, dear? Or, young fellas sometimes, just something that is a little more
unique,
friendly, and hopefully not fresh.
And it's unique, though. It's unique to you.
It is.
You've got your isms.
I do. I have my way, and I think they realize it's authentic, and it's not in any way being cheeky to them or offensive. I hope not.
No. And you also call, you have sort of words for like coffee, motion potion.
Yes.
What else you got?
Go-go juice, motion potion, rocket fuel.
What do you call bacon? You have something for that?
Or
other food items. Is it just coffee?
Oh, just like on the fly. Do you want it like this? It's the old speak, but sometimes we just simply say number 3. It's just number 3 on the menu. It's just a shorthand for the cooks. But again, they don't want us to talk to them anymore. they really don't, and I suppose so. It's why cooking in a restaurant and serving in a restaurant, especially a tight place like Frank's, has its unique challenges because
it's tight in there. It's tight in there.
Restaurants are in of itself chaotic. They just simply are when you get a lot of people in there. And one of the things, Frank, people are very particular about, and you wouldn't think so, but they're very serious about how they want their eggs. And you better have their eggs the way that they want their eggs. It's a detail, and it's something that you remember. But again, with a cook, especially someone that's learning, it's a trial and error thing.
Eggs are a tricky thing to make.
Well, let me tell you, our seventh kitchen manager, Dave Coots, he's no longer there, but he had a test for cooks when he'd run an ad. Now, this was the test. He'd run an ad. Back then there was newspapers. He'd run an ad, and 4 or 5 young fellows would show up. And he'd stand them all at the grill and have all their resumes there. And he'd say, fellas, I bet you show up for work. I'm not going through all this stuff. I think probably if you're here, you want a job and you want to show up for work. So let's just leave that alone for right now. I want to know how much of a cook you are. I want all of you to come up to the grill one at a time, and I want you to do 2 things for me. I want you to cook me 1 egg over easy, and I want you to cut me a sandwich. And brother, they're from fast food places, Frank. They're cooks because they're the ones flipping the burger and they're the ones dropping the fries, but they don't know how to cook an egg, and they sure as heck don't know how to cut a sandwich. They are so mushed, and the bread is squished, and you can't serve it. And he'll look at it and he'll say, oh, well, fellas, we're glad you're here. I do want to hire you, but you're just not up to the speed of my cooks that I use. I'll tell you what, I'll train you to be like them, but I'm not going to pay you full wage while you're training until you are them. Oh, we lose half of them there.
Yeah,
no, I gotta have this,
right.
Because they can get it at a fast food. But the ones who stay become our cooks, and they learn how to cook.
Yeah, right, and not just fast food.
Just wrap it up and throw it under a warmer.
Right.
But at Frank's is a particularly difficult place for cooks because most of your cooks are used to large kitchens. They're used to a large back kitchen. They're not used to being on display. They say what they want when they want to. If they drop that egg, they say whatever comes to mind in public, and nobody cares. It's in the back, and they'll clean it up.
Right. But
and
here, you're on.
But here, they are every bit as the show as we've had some good ones that enjoy it. We had one that came from a Chinese display that flipped his knife up in the air until our owner told him no because he thought if someone got hit with it. Yeah. But it was very cool. You're right.
Wow.
And but the ones that are learning or whatever, they are very aware or not used to. They're very aware that the customer is right there. Sometimes they'll say the wrong thing, and sometimes it's loud enough, and or. One of them just forgot where he was. He just started there, and he says, I don't want to cook another damn hobo scramble. I don't like the customer was right there. I said, shut up. No,
don't say that here.
We mean that he loves it. he meant to say he hates the spatula. But anyway, and then again, they're sharing the space with the server. Oh, they absolutely, unless she's gorgeous, they absolutely hate sharing the space with the server. He has to be very young and a particular size. Correct. And then they're fine about it. But so with the regular people, and you're standing right. Well, there's nowhere to go. The server has to take the order. When Chris Hobart was Pat's right-hand construction guy. When the counter came in to Frank's, and it was the last thing to come in, it was brought in. They were arguing over about an inch. An inch. They had an inch that they could do. So they said, do we shove it in and give the inch to the customer to walk down the aisle, which people are getting bigger now, thank goodness they did, or do we shove it out and let the girl get around the cook? And they discussed it, and they shoved it in an inch and gave it to the customer. And I always hit the cook by about, I always think about
by an inch.
What could they divide it up? But that's the way that went.
Wow, interesting. So that is an amazing old place. Was it originally a food car on the, or was it not? It was just a regular train car.
If you come in again, go to table 5 and table 6. I'll show them to you. Yes. They have the original pictures.
That's right.
It was a smoking car for the head of the Pacific Northern Pacific
Pacific
Railroad line. It was his private car, like
Okay.
Wild Wild West. I think he chose the
Yeah.
best one. And the light fixtures in the glass are all original from
Wild Wild
1906.
West,
They
yeah.
didn't even have light bulbs back then. They had to use gas. There were no
Right.
light bulbs invented.
1906.
So all of that came
Wow.
in, but it is an original treasure. It is the
It is a
real
treasure.
deal.
Well,
It
my
is.
my grandparents both worked for the Northern Pacific Railroad,
Oh, how cool.
and they met. They actually, my grandfather proposed to my grandmother in front of the clock tower.
Oh
And
my
he used, isn't that great?
gosh.
Yeah. And he used
Oh
to,
my
he was a
gosh, that's so
mechanic. I think he
romantic.
ran the machine shop for at what was then the, where the clock tower is now, but was the station.
Oh,
And my grandmother worked, I think, in the office there.
how fabulous.
So they both worked for the Northern Pacific Railroad. In fact, I have a stack of letters from through
You
their,
have it in your blood,
yeah,
Frank.
I know.
It's in your
it's
family.
True. It's a
That's a
my
cool
grandfather's
story.
name was Happy Half Pap.
Oh, this is so cool.
And he
You
was
should write
I
about
never met him, but
him.
he was apparently a really happy guy, and everybody kind of loved him.
Well, that's
but
where
that
it came
was
from.
and that's cool that it was Northern Pacific. I guess I do remember seeing that now that I've been there. But yeah, what a special place, and the photos in there
Yes.
are unbelievable of Spokane mostly, right? All of them just
they're
original
historic
historic photos
from,
of,
Pat. I don't know where
Yeah,
he comes up
I
with
know
his
it.
stuff,
He's
but
just-
he does.
he's
He's
amazing.
a genius.
He is a genius.
And he still keeps going. If he was coming into Frank's, I'd get him a blue sweater. I love that guy. I love that guy. He is one of the true originals of Spokane.
Yeah, he is.
That contributes. Look at what he's done in
Right.
bringing hot. People love to be able to sit down and go out and have a peaceful, fun time having a cup of coffee with
Yeah,
someone.
exactly.
And look what he provides for
It's
them.
true.
Arnie's and Hogan's and
All these
still
cool
got
places.
part of Knights, I think.
Yeah. Knights is great. I
Well,
go there. My daughter loves Knights. We go there.
Everybody leaves a hole and everybody contributes.
Yeah, it's true.
Into the ripple. It's true.
After all these years, everything you've done, for your philosophy on life.
My philosophy on life is if you can't contribute something, stay out of the way. No, if you can't contribute something, think about it. Think about something that you can do or help with. Contribute something. When I'm old, really old, I mean, I'm no spring chicken now, but when I'm really old, I live by Lincoln Heights. I'm going to go up to the school and read to the children. They have a nice program like that. And I'll be the grandma and I'll be reading to the kids. And I can't wait. I think that's going to be great. And I will be, maybe they don't have a grandmother, or maybe, they want to learn about books. I love books. And I'm going to offer that. I know it's not much, but it might help a child learn about something that they want to know about, or bring them a little happiness. One of my favorite shows was Mr. Rogers, because I didn't understand him at first. We started watching Sesame Street when my kids were little, and Mr. Rogers would come on directly after. And you know how Sesame Street is so ba 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 ba, and singing, and Little Big Bird, and there's just constant entertainment. And Mr. Rogers came in, and everything slowed down, and he was talking slowly
Pace
and
was
saying,
slow.
"Hi, children, welcome to my day. Welcome to the neighborhood. I'm Mr. Rogers." And I would go, "What is happening? What is going
It's
on
a pattern
here?"
interruption.
Yeah, it was. And it took me about 10 minutes to realize he was an absolute genius. Just a genius. He really connected with children.
He did.
With children that didn't have any role models. That's
right.
why he wore the jacket. and
Latchkey
took it out.
kids.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. And I so admired him. So you know what? What he did was very simple. But anybody who could do that, maybe I can be a role model for a kid a little bit. Say, this is what I do, and you can do it too. Or let's have a story. Let's bring up your day a little bit. Or tell me a story.
You are the
just
Mr.
something.
Rogers of diners.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome to my neighborhood.
It kind of is.
I so appreciate that. I want to know if I don't want to be cornball, but I want to connect, and I want to contribute. And I still do. And I hope I have somehow, or will continue to
Oh,
be able to.
Absolutely. And I think, just watching you in the brief time that you have, because it's pretty fast. When people spend time with you, it's pretty quick. But you fill that space with so much of who you are that it's just completely memorable. You're completely unique in how you do it.
Thank
and
you.
You're way wicked smart. Like that's the part of it I always took away. I'm like, she's really smart. So, is there a celebrity you've most been compared to?
Yes. I think it's my voice. I don't think it has to do with any energy or any pizzazz particularly, but people have said, you're Ted's girlfriend on Mary Tyler Moore.
Georgette.
You're Georgette. And I always say to him, oh my God, I love Georgette and I love Ted. Ted, do you remember the ending of Mary Tyler Moore? Do you remember they get bought by another
I don't remember
news
it.
organization? They get bought, and Murray and Mr. Grant and Mary's going around going, oh my God, the first thing he's going to do is let go of Ted. Oh no, poor Ted. Oh God. They go through the whole thing trying to figure out how they're going to help Ted later. And everybody's going, so Ted gets called in and everybody's going, oh no. And then they get called in and he comes out and he goes, well, he gave me a raise. And then they're all but let go.
He's the only one that stayed.
He's the only one.
The biggest dummy.
That was a classic. I laughed and
Well,
laughed.
you do sound like Georgette.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, you do.
You can't hear your voice, I think.
Well, no, yeah, but you're not anywhere like her.
Oh, thank you. Well, all right.
She was so ditzy. You're not ditzy.
No. I try to. I like to read.
But I do. Yeah, there's definitely a resemblance.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
that's what
It was
I've
a great
heard.
show.
I've
My
heard
God,
that.
That was the best. I love that show.
Oh my gosh, classic.
It was such a
Dick Van Dyke and her and everybody. If you watch those shows, you can really pick up a lot of fun.
Oh man, yeah. That's great. What are you most grateful for?
Well, I'm most grateful that I got a chance to become myself, to do what I wanted to do. I wanted exactly what happened in Egypt and in Greece and in different places that we went to, where Yugoslavia, it was absolutely the worst poverty, and yet people shared. They gave us apples. They said, welcome to our country. They smiled. And like I said, when you're from somewhere and you don't belong there and you know it, they can act like you don't belong there and you'll really feel terrible, or they can be kind. And so what I would like to be known for is when someone comes to Spokane, like that awful day, and they didn't mean to, or anybody. Maybe they had to go to the hospital and visit someone. We're right next to them. That I lighten their load a little. I just want to have something special given to them that I could give to them. I don't have money and I don't have the biggest smarts and I don't have a lot of things and I'm not gorgeous, but I can pay some attention and I can try to lighten their load a bit. You pay attention by taking their order and making sure they get it properly. They're hungry. Once that's done, you can lean into very much of what Spokane has to offer. I'm so proud of Spokane. We've come through a lot and we have wonderful people here. There's people here that are such givers. Yeah. When I came here and I was on my own, I couldn't rub two nickels together. And I can remember one of my customers, Video Bob, was an older guy, a senior guy that worked at the VA, and he had a movie night. And he would show the silliest Godzilla movies and things to his crowd, and then he would bring the tape to the restaurant and let my kids watch them. And that was when they would see something, and we would watch Godzilla. And I started a garden, and I told a few people about it. It was expensive. You can't just go out and get plants, but I had some seeds. They gave me cuttings. They would bring some cuttings in. I still have some roses from that. And just people are kind. I know that it's a hard time right now, but I know we'll get through it. And I know Spokane is always going to remain Spokane at heart. They're good people here and they're kind. Yeah. And I felt it and I got a chance to live the way I wanted to. And I know people say give back. I'm not knowing if I'm giving back exactly, but what I want to do is lighten their load. I just want to give them something special that they would say, I feel better, or things aren't so bad, or that was fun. Why not? It would help a lot with people right now. It's really hard for them.
Well, I think you're gorgeous. So there you go.
Have you seen your
That's up to you.
optometrist lately?
That's up to you. That's
Well,
it's
thank
not
you.
up to you to say.
Oh, well, I
Okay,
appreciate
last question.
that.
Most interesting person you've served. This is the most interesting person you've never heard of podcast. So
Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, I've served you, and you're very interesting. Actually, you're very interesting. You should interview yourself.
I've been
You should
told
somehow
I should somehow
do it.
make the magic of television do that.
You
that
could do
seems
it.
pretty egotistical, though. I've
It
thought
is
about
not
it.
egotistical.
Then I thought, really?
It would be so. Do you know how inspirational? No, you're it, because you know. Oh, that's my husband.
Of course, that's your phone ring. Come on.
Everybody say hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
This is Frank. We're still doing this. Love you. Bye. You noticed it was a train whistle?
I did notice the train. Of course, that's your ring.
Yes.
Your ringtone
Jim,
on your.
Jim did that. Let me get back, because I'm really onto something here. You figure it out.
Technologically figure out how to interview myself.
You can do it. I know you can. I don't know if it's
true.
AI or whatever it is.
Somehow,
but
AI
you are.
will do it.
I don't care for AI, because you're a real person with real ideas and real mojo, and they are something fake. But you interview yourself, because do you realize how much inspiration you could bring to people? Look at you, made your dream come true. Look at this place.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fabulous,
pretty cool.
everybody. I
Pretty
just went
cool.
through it. He's got cool guys working for him. Pretty cute one right over there. So listen. This man made his dream come true by using his mind and getting ideas from young people.
All the time.
And remembering what he wants to do and how he wants to give to Spokane. He's giving to the community here. This man's amazing, because he's made his dream come true. You don't have to be gorgeous, and you don't have to be a Kardashian, and you don't have to be whatever people think they have to be. Start. Go out. Learn what you can about what you want to do. And then try, and don't give up. Hey, I'm talking to a man who's doing his dream, and it's working for him. Look,
Well,
look
I'm
around.
certainly no Kardashian. Thank
Oh,
goodness.
thank goodness. Thank goodness. No, I don't see the surgery.
Well, thank you, Gage. That's very nice of you.
Absolutely. This has been a pleasure, because it just reinforces my mind idea that you don't need what people think. I have to have this, and I have to have that to do it. If I don't have this, and I don't have college, and I have this, I can't do what I want to do. Baloney. You have yourself, and you have your mind, and you have your spirit, and you have your own ideas. Go for it. Bring out something that'll help people. We could use it. And goodness, I'm going to be quiet now. Gosh. Lay off, lady. Wise up.
You got your soapbox. You got to use it. Well, you got it. Come on. I appreciate it.
I am being very honest here, and I'm being very.
Thank you very much. That's very nice of you.
This is the truth. You should do yourself.
I will
watch
look
it and
into
give it to my kids, grandchildren to look as an exam too. Well, look, like I said, coolest place ever, coolest guy ever. Look at who you've met. Talk about the people how much have you learned from them?
I got to meet you.
Well,
that's pretty cool. Come on.
I right back at you. So
thank
haven't we done well?
Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
It was my
being
absolute
here.
pleasure. It truly was.
Oh, give me a hug.
All right.